Labadiena, mėly kolegos, malonu visus matyti, tai gausiai susirinkusius į 3 Baltijos šalių prezidentų spaudos konferenciją. Šiame tradicinėme Baltijos šalių prezidentų susitikime iš tiesų aptarta daug Latvijos, Lietuvos ir Estijos žmonėms svarbių klausimų. Plačiau apie tai pasakysiu jums patys prezidentai, po to turėsite galimybę užduoti po keletą klausimų.
The statements by the 3 state presidents and then 2 questions for each presidents. Dalia Grybauskaitė. I am delighted and I welcome my colleagues from Estonia and Latvia who are here today in Lithuania. I am delighted that we have not only the beautiful city of Vilnius but also other beautiful cities and towns, and the tradition is that we visit not only Tallinn and Riga but smaller places. So today we discussed issues important to all of us. First of all, strategic projects and interests of our region, and the Baltic and the European Council, where the 3 Baltic states held the same position regarding the multi-annual financial framework. We also discussed such sensitive issues as energy, security, also transport networks, especially after the recent elections that were held in Lithuania. The question is whether Lithuania will continue its course in the sectors of energy and transport. Those projects that we worked on together, will we continue them, and will Lithuania continue developing them? So all of these issues are important for the 3 Baltic states, and we have discussed them. We also discussed our position concerning the future negotiating process. We are working together, as well as our teams are working together at all levels. Our interests are the same, and once again I am delighted to see my dear neighbors here in Lithuania, and I would like for them to make their statements.
Well, Madam President has said everything, so I don't know what to add to that, other than it's good to be back here in Lithuania, and we had a very productive meeting, and our discussions will continue. Indeed, our close cooperation on the MFF is something which I think has strengthened our bargaining position, and so we think that we're in a better position than if we had not cooperated, and this is proof that all of this does in fact work. We discussed, as the President mentioned, the the state of affairs regarding energy, and well, I can say from our point of view, it's once again we're waiting to see what the decision will be, and I just hope that it's realized that it's not only a domestic issue, and when other people have to wait because they don't know, that also represents opportunity costs. So I don't know, that's what we discussed.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to you to organize this meeting. This time is so important for us, for all 3 Baltic countries. Yesterday I had a very active meeting with our agricultural representatives, and this question about payments for agriculture, particularly direct payments, so-called hectares payments, are so important for all of us, and of course all cohesion policy related matters are also important to keep the pace of our development and to to focus to reduce immigration from Baltic countries. It is one of the nearest 10 years most important question, and not so easy to understand sometimes policy of some EU countries being so aggressive against solidarity policy. And I'm very happy today to hear that we are together and we will keep this unity, I hope, until the end of all those negotiations. No difference when those will be accomplished or January and March, and this is so important for all of us. And of course, not only those, but also all related to so-called Connecting Europe facilities. There are questions are open. We discussed those matters, and we have also common view, and it will be protected in Brussels. Of course, for future, I see our cooperation extending more to not only to EU, but particularly to closer in Eastern Partnership. This is also very important for our future development. My opinion is that getting maximum support from EU, this is not sufficient to keep our stable goals in a longer term. We have to look together for more solutions, and this is really the case, and this will be discussed on also our support to the Syrian presidency time. And I expect the same Latvia will get during the Latvian presidency. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, you can now put your questions to the presidents. Perhaps I would like to add that we also discussed Lithuania's presidency of the European Union, and I invited the presidents of the neighboring Baltic states to participate in this process more actively, so that Lithuania's presidency of the European Union could be used as a common platform for the three Baltic states in pursuing their goals and objectives. We could organize joint events, and the two presidents kindly agreed to come to Lithuania and participate in the process. So first questions related to today's meeting. Lietuvos rytas. Please introduce yourself.
I have a question addressed to all the presidents of the Baltic states. What prospects do you see for Visaginas nuclear power project?
For Visaginas power project. Tai turbūt pradėsiu aš atsakinėti, todėl kad Visaginas Lietuvoje.
Perhaps I will start because the Visaginas nuclear power project, first of all, starts in Lithuania, and I have already discussed this issue with the newly elected majority, and I know that a special commission has been set up to investigate into the situation that has been created after the referendum. So we will investigate all the possible intentions, and it is yet too early to speculate on this matter, so we should wait for the government's program of action. Next question, please. A question to the Estonian president. The European Commission's recommendation was that the liquefied gas terminal should be built in Finland or Estonia. How do you assess it?
Well, I mean, from my point of view. I mean, the Commission has commissioned a report from a private company, and they've reported that. They're certainly, not even the Commission is expert enough to do it. They had a company to do a study. I mean, how do I assess it? Well, I mean, they know better than we do. And to answer the other question before, which was that you asked about Visaginas, well, I mean, I do have to admit a slight degree of, that there is necessarily a slight degree of frustration in that we agreed 6.5 years ago in the Trakai agreement that three countries would do something. Then, without asking us, it was changed to 4. Then it changed to 3. And now, we don't know if it's happening at all. And as I said, there is an opportunity cost because during the 6.5 years, we have not pursued other things because we were doing this thing. So now, when we find out that it's, well, there's all kinds of positions in the last several weeks about it happening, not happening, but you can imagine we're there, what's going to happen?
Truly, our neighbors have the right to speak in this way because Lithuania has been talking for a long time and not doing much. So now the result is very inconclusive, and the project is important for the whole of the region. It is a project for the whole of the region, which could secure the security of the entire Baltic region. So it is rather concerning when such regional projects are put at question. So inability to implement such important projects does not add to Lithuania's good name.
I have a question for 3 presidents, so if you don't mind, I put it in English. It's not directly with your meeting, but you have spoken about the need to have a common position on different matters. So tomorrow there is an important vote in UN General Assembly on to upgrade Palestine status, which implies the statehood of Palestine Authority, in fact. What is the position of your countries? And if I may add on this, some experts, like former Icelandic Foreign Minister, Mr. Baltz, has said that Baltic states should understand because there are many similarities with Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories and the Soviet occupation of Baltic states. Would you agree also with such a comparison? Thank you.
Well, first, I mean, in terms of common positions, I think we all want the European Union to have a common position, and that, as I understand, has not emerged yet, but where we still hope for a common position. I mean, there are certainly similarities, but there are also differences. There was no Palestinian state that was occupied. I mean, it was its territory that was occupied. So, I mean, one has to be very careful with historical analogies, especially because we have seen historical analogies abused quite a bit in the past, and we've been victims of the abuse of historical analogies. So I always caution people against making too simple analogies.
I would also agree that comparison in this case is perhaps not adequate, although we do understand the aspiration for freedom and independence. But the European Union should create a common platform on this question. Such a platform has not been established as yet, so Lithuania tomorrow will abstain.
Latvia has actually the same opinion, and this topic was hot already a year ago in September 2011 in New York. And Latvia, of course, supports negotiations led by 4 big UN, Russia, to judge, Latvian delegation has not seen this final version of this proposal. It is still open until now. Thank you.
Do you have any more questions? A short question, business news. Will the Baltic states create an institution above the governments that would regulate the energy sector? Do you have in mind an administrative institution or a political one? Speaking in general terms, the situation is not bad. We have an energy security center in Vilnius. All of the three countries cooperate in this field. We also cooperate on energy security in the region in other aspects. I believe that everything depends, first of all, on the political will. Institutions, of course, are important, but this is at bureaucratic level. But political will is the most important thing, and we have it among the three Baltic states. We have a common understanding between the three Baltic states. We cooperate very closely. We support each other at all levels in the European Union and also at NATO. And we are doing this absolutely. So we will not need any institutions if it will continue like this. Any more questions? Lithuanian radio and television. Madam President, when the new government will be formed, what do you think about the policies that should be changed at ministerial level? I will not comment about things that do not as yet exist. Of course, I will do my best to help the new Prime Minister start the cabinet and its work.